Community Viewpoint with John Pollock and Maria Hurst.
Good afternoon and welcome to Community Viewpoint. I'm Salli Kerr with the Front Valley Chamber. I'm standing in for John Pollock as he's off on vacation this week. So I'm happy to be here again in his shoes. And I'm here today with Cassandra Selbach with Valley Electric Association. She is bringing to us the information about the solar project that was publicly announced at the National Clean Energy Summit. Was that last week? Mm-hmm. Last week. And so we are here to get some more details about that project, about how it's going to work, what kind of benefits it's bringing to us locally, and you know, all the things that Valley Electric Association does that are valuable to us as a community and as members. And so we're really happy to hear yet another little bit about a project that they have going for us. So tell us about that.
Well, first, thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here as well and sharing this information. This is a project that we've been working on for a number of years. As is the case with a lot of big projects, you know, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes work that has to take place before anything really gets announced or, you know, gets building to the ground. So this particular project is a 15 megawatt solar project that's going to be located on the north side of Pahrump Valley. So it is a large-scale solar generation facility that will be out there. And again, we're just very excited to finally kind of get it off the ground and get moving with it. We'll be starting construction here pretty quick, and couldn't be more excited about that.
Okay, so one of the things that you took to the Energy Summit was a presentation that kind of gave people an overview of that. So I think that we have that we can run and get a little look at what the project consists of.
Yeah, this is a neat little video that we put together, short and sweet, but gives a nice visual, you know, what we're trying to, what we're going to accomplish with that, and it was well received.
Right. So construction is going to begin when?
Construction is going to begin very quickly. So we've actually moved through all the regulatory stuff, which is probably one of the most time-consuming portions of the project. The rest is going to happen fairly quickly once we get out there and start putting the panels and the inverters and all the steel and all the construction portion of the project. That part moves very, very quickly. That will likely happen end of October, beginning of November.
Oh, wow, very quickly.
So it's right around the corner.
Right.
The very next thing that's going to take place is the relocation of the desert tortoise.
Right.
So this project, in fact, this view here on the video is pretty cool. One of my favorite parts. It's like a little miniature doggy door, but for desert tortoises, so that they can find their way to their original habitat once the construction process is complete.
Right. Right. So now you, part of the positive things about this project is the fact that you're using American-made products and materials?
Yes, so that is also one of the things that we're excited about. You know, when we originally started planning how this project was going to work, there were some key things that we wanted to be sure that we really addressed, and that was one of them. So we obviously want to support not only the local economy, but also, you know, try to get as much as possible that we can from the USA. So we were successful in that. In fact, all of the steel is American-made. The panels, American-made, the inverters, all of that. So, you know, again, that was just something that was very important to us. In addition to that, we're going to be using all union labor. So those are going to be some very good jobs where we anticipate about 200 temporary positions, you know, throughout the construction process. Right. So that'll be a nice boost for the local economy as well.
And how many, how long is the construction process?
We actually intend to be generating electricity by July 1 of next year.
Wow.
So it'll be a very, very quick turnaround time.
Right. Okay. So the details again, I think how many panels are going up?
There's going to be 54,000 panels. So it is a large-scale utility project. It's going to cover 80 acres. Again, that's on the north side of town. So it's off the east fan of Simpkins Road.
Okay.
Kind of maybe a half a mile to a mile past the gravel pit that's out there.
Right, okay. So, you know, one of the things that Valley Electric does really, really well is talk to its membership.
Thank you very much.
Works with ambassadors, has programs in place for anybody who wants a voice with their community-owned, you know, we're acknowledged as owner members, and they work with us very well. So ambassadors all along have been having a voice in this process, have been aware of kind of at least what was going on with it. And
Yes, and so that's very true. So we, you know, we are a cooperative, so we are member-owned, you know, member-focused, and so we do work very hard to keep our membership informed on what we're doing, to give them an opportunity for input. And in fact, this project as a whole is geared toward helping our members. So obviously, we all know that there's been a push for renewable energy for some time. This particular project gives an opportunity for members to have an alternative renewable energy, you know, source that they can go to that's different than the traditional solar panels on your roof per se. And there's a number of different advantages that comes with that alone. And again, that's something that's now going to be an alternative for those owner members.
right, so not only did you get really good positive response at the Clean Energy Summit, but you're getting very positive response from your membership.
We absolutely are. So from the very beginning of this project, and even as we started, you know, announcing some of the ideas and some of the details to the membership early on, there's been a huge response from that. And why wouldn't there be? Because ultimately, not only is it a boost for the local economy, again, we are supporting, you know, our country as a whole, you know, by using the U.S.-made materials. The jobs, obviously people are excited about the jobs, and at the end of the day, energy is going to be available for less cost than what our members are paying now. So not only do they get to participate in a renewable energy, you know, product, they also get to save money. So why wouldn't they be excited about that?
Right, of course. The other part about it that is kind of exciting from a membership standpoint is it's about your ownership, but not attached to your house.
Exactly, and so for me, as a member owner myself, I mean, that was one of the things that I was the most excited about. You know, there's some disadvantages to putting some of the traditional rooftop systems, you know, on your house. So number one, there's some warranty concerns because you're attaching this to, you know, to your residence. There's maintenance, you know, concerns because you are responsible for maintaining that. And then, you know, there's always the concern when you're investing in a third-party supplier. What happens if they're out of business in 1, 5, 10 years from now? When you're investing in a solar, any kind of distributed generation product, you're kind of invested in that for a long time, sometimes 10, 20, 30 years.
Right.
And who's to say that they're necessarily going to be there?
Right.
Valley Electric is able to offer that same reliability that we have for 50 years, that same reputation. We've been here. It's a co-op, so they're already, you know, invested in that as a member owner, and now they get to be a part of that instead.
Right, right. And so, some of the benefit of that, from my perspective, same as a member owner, is I don't have to do the math that's required with what are the lifespans and all of that. I get to really rely on Valley Electric having done their homework, giving us a really good solid project with their own stamp of approval and their own reputation behind it. And, you know, I know, speaking personally, I'm excited about this. We've been waiting for this for a long time.
That's fantastic, and I'm excited to hear that. And that's the same response that we've been getting from the rest of the members as well, because, you know, again, at the end of the day, we're doing what we do. So, you know, your average homeowner, that's not their forte. You know, this is what we do. You know, again, by doing a project like this, we're able to drive that cost down so that we can save the members money, you know, and then we maintain it and we do all of that. So at the end of the day, it's a great product to them. They may or may not, you know, they have the option to be able to partake in that if they want to.
Right.
And the other positive thing is that this is something that's available not only to Pahrump members where the project is going to be, but it's actually available to all of our members across our entire service territory, which means our members all the way down south in, you know, Sandy Valley, all the way up north to Fish Lake Valley, have the same opportunity to participate in that project.
Right, right. So as you say, you know, we did some of the behind-the-scenes work, and we all know these kind of projects take that, but it's not just, it took a partnership. So tell us about who you had to work with to get far enough to be able to sit here and say, and we got through the regulatory process.
Yes, so again, that's another one of the key points that we are excited about. There is some collaboration, some relationships and partnerships involved with a project like this. We're partnering with Bombard Electric, which is a very well-known, great reputation, been here forever. We've done other projects with them before. So that is something that we just feel really great about. And then in addition to that, we're also working with U.S. Fish and Wildlife very, very closely, some academic institutions, because this project is going to be a lot different than any other project that's similar to this. And the fact that we're incredibly sensitive and aware of the natural habitat. We had mentioned the desert tortoise a little bit earlier, so that's something that we're very sensitive to. And so some of the things that we're doing different with this project than what is traditionally done, we're going to preserve the natural habitat as well. So, and we're going to be relocating the desert tortoises into a temporary habitat, which is the very next step that's going to happen, because you can only move them a couple times a year, and October is one of them.
Right.
So that's the part that's going to take place before construction begins at the end of October, early November. And then we're going to do a crushing technique for the vegetation that's currently there. So the idea is that we can preserve the seed structure of that vegetation, so that those plants they can grow back, so that when the tortoises do return, they're returning back to their natural environment. And so that's just something completely done differently, instead of moving and plowing everything off the ground.
Hence
and
the turtle door that will let them back in as that process is completed.
Exactly.
So we can be looking forward to more information about how we get involved in this process, right?
Absolutely.
There'll be details coming out about how we sign up for those things, and more details about how we, as members, get to choose that option as part of our energy choices and packages. And
exactly. So I would just, want to let the viewers and the members know that more information will be coming out in the near future. So as we want to let everybody know that this is what we're doing, and this process is starting, kind of get them excited about that. And then as the enrollment process begins, everybody will have, sufficient opportunity to be able to take advantage of that.
Right.
And one of the things that I also wanted to mention about the benefits to the members, as opposed to having the traditional rooftop system, now renters have the opportunity to be able to utilize that system, and then which is huge, because otherwise you would normally have to be a homeowner before you even have the opportunity to do that.
Right. Well, thank you for coming, giving us all that information, and we will be right back after these messages.